All right, welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Bernie here with another tutorial on specific assignments that you're going to have in my class over the quarter if you are remote. So right now we are in the student account for Google Classroom. Again, make sure that you were there when you're on your own account. You're on the right classroom. I'm going to head to classwork, and we're gonna do the journal entry. Okay, so just a little bit of information right now. Um, the week one assignments, again, I just threw kind of a random week in here. And this is not exactly what it's going to look like. I've got an example for a journal entry, an activity log, and a unit test. Now, this isn't going to always go for everybody, and just because there's a test here doesn't mean you get a test every week. But I just want to show you how to do it so you can be most successful. So let's take a look at our Monday journal entry week one. Okay, so I'm going to click here to expand it. Again, you can get to it a couple of different ways. I like to get to it just by clicking this link right here. And this is just an example. You will see some of these questions on actual journal entries, but a couple things to point out here. So it's got the date right down here, 1/18/2021. It does say Monday, all right? Depending on the week, you are going to have a Monday through Friday journal entry. So 5 journal entries every week. Most weeks, all right? You'll see the same thing up here, and this one has my name on it, so I know that this one is mine, okay? So journal entries are really cool. They're just a way to kind of think differently, but also, focus a lot on health and wellness in different aspects. So the question number 1 says, the human body is designed to walk more than 15 miles per day. How can you add more walking into your life? This is a completely personal question, and by personal I mean it only applies to you. All right. A lot of the journal entries are going to have questions that aren't necessarily a right or wrong answer. It's just what answer best represents you. Okay. So a lot of these are going to be like opinions or ideas that you have. All right. So now on this one, the question is, how can you add more walking into your life? If you say sitting on the couch and eating potato chips, that's not going to get you any points. It has to be an actual way that can do it, but it can be what you want to do. All right. So I'm going to just, hit enter a couple of times, and this is only a one question, I guess you could say right here. It only needs one answer. All right. So how can you add more walking into your life? Let's see. It's cold outside, but I'm going to write, I can go on more walks outside, or I can walk around my home. Let's say I can walk inside around my home, right? That's still walking, okay? So there's one answer for one question. All right, number 1 is done. Now, number 2 is a little bit different. Let's read it. What was the last thing that really made you smile? What was so awesome about it that made you smile? So this is a 2-part question, okay? It needs 2 answers. There are 2 question marks, so that means it needs 2 answers. That's the easy way to look at that. Number 1, it was 2 sentences, but there's only 1 question mark, so that means I only had to write 1 answer. Number 2 is also 2 sentences, but there are 2 question marks, so I need 2 answers. So I'm going to look at the first question. What was the last thing that really made you smile? Let's see, my daughter made a silly, face. All right, so that's one part done. What was so awesome about it that made you smile? She has never made that face before. Okay, so she was just being goofy, made a funny face at us, and there it is. So 2 questions, 2 answers. Notice that these aren't very long. Like, I don't have to type out a whole paragraph for an answer. If you need a paragraph to answer it, that's great, but you do not have to answer with a paragraph. All right, number 3, last thing. What is courage? What is something that you have done that was courageous? So If this is something that you want to look up, and this is just an example too, but if you feel like you want to look up in a dictionary what the word courage means, that's fine, but I want you to put it in your own words, okay? So I'm going to say courage is a way to be brave, okay? Really simple answer right there. What is something that you have done that was courageous? I stood up for something I believed in, if I can spell it right. There we go. Both, all right. Super simple answers. Again, I didn't have to write a paragraph, but again, if you feel like it, just to explain it, that's okay. Write as much as you think is necessary, all right? So I looked at this, I got everything answered. Questions 2 and 3 each had 2 parts to them, so I got both of those answered. And I'm going to try something different. I'm going to just click turn in. Okay, so that brings me to this page, and I am ready. I'm going to go ahead and turn it in. It is good to go. And I'll exit out of this. And then this is back to our student page. So I'm going to show you again what it looks like from the teacher's perspective. So I'm going to click on Journal Entry Week 1. I see that one person turned it in. Oh, it's because I just did it. I'm going to open it up. And I see everything that was just typed, exactly the way it looks. All right, it's so cool how this works, right? Technology is amazing. So I'm going to read through it. Boom, boom, boom. Everything looks good. 5 points. And I might add a comment like, great idea for getting in more steps. Okay? So I'll post that, return, and that is done. That is turned in. It is graded. Okay, so again, from the teacher's perspective, that Monday journal entry, it says that it's graded. I don't need that anymore. And then from the student's perspective, from the student page, it'll say turned in, but if I go into it more, it will say, it should say graded, but you'll see the private comment from the teacher, and that was worth 5 points. All right, so that is how you do a journal entry for my class during the quarter. I hope this is good information. If there's something that you have more questions on, always feel free to ask, and I will talk to you soon with another tutorial. See ya.